ladies and gents, it's Sam back, and after playing the Avorion video up, I had over 100. I usually put up a video of a new game that I'm playing or just started playing and see if anybody's interested in watching it. And I did have enough, over 100 people for the Avorion video, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a basic starter for people that want to get into this game. Where did this game come from? It was a hobby of a fellow in Germany for about 4 years, and he got the green light on Steam in 2015, fundraiser in 2016, and then the release of the early access in 2017. So yeah, the game's a little bit, the early access has been out for just a little bit over a year. The story behind it is essentially there was a cataclysm a couple centuries ago in the galaxy, tore it apart with these rifts. And these rifts you cannot get across even with your engines, I'm totally drawing a blank here. Your hyper engines, you can't get across them. And essentially what it does is it leaves a large ring around the center of the galaxy, and that is your quest in this game, is to find out the artifacts that are needed to create a gateway to get to the center of the galaxy. Yeah, pretty simple. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the second part of this little video in my other, the actual galaxy that I've played quite a bit. So when you start out, you get a choice between single player and multiplayer. Multiplayer is a typical browse servers. You got the host games, dedicated servers, that kind of stuff. If you really want to get into this, and if people are really interested in playing this game, I'll be happy to host a game, and we can jump in there and play alliances together, take out pirates, build factories, build space stations, and kind of just see if we can complete the quest, as a team-wise. However, if you're not really into that kind of stuff, there is a single player. You, of course, can go in here and join any one of these browsers or any one of these servers and jump in here and play with all these other people if you want it. You can join in and join these other factions, and whatnot. However, in the single player, you get to actually just start out with your first. This was my very first one when I very first started the game out. I started it, jumped in it, didn't know what the fuck I was doing, blew my ships up left and right, just kind of a terrible one. Actually, I'm just going to delete that one because I don't even play it anymore. I had probably like 2 hours in that galaxy, and I was like, you know what, fresh start. So we went to the Z3M galaxy, and this is what I've been playing in ever since. So you can create your own galaxy, obviously. You want to create a new one. What you do is you go and give it a name, of course, and there's going to be a seed galaxy, because these constantly generate themselves galaxies, so you're never going to get the same one twice if you start out. Normal, I think mine, Z3M, I think is running on, normal. Collision model, I would suggest pulling it off full, because I left it on full when I first started my galaxy, and everything I run into fucking blew up my ship. It didn't matter how fast I was going, all of a sudden it break into half. I usually run at 0.5 or 0.25. If you really want to start out, do the 0.25. Start out relatively, this way, when you do run into things, you do receive some damage, but you aren't going to lose your ship. Creative mode, obviously, if you put this on, you just go in there and you get to build all kinds of stuff you want. You can build massive starships right off the bat. So, with that said, I'm going to jump in and we're just going to do this default galaxy. We're going to start it, and we're going to run in here and just do a quick how-to when you start out. Now, you're going to get a spawn point, right? And this is you're going to be spawn point for the whole game until later on in the game where you gain a trust as you move toward center of the galaxy. Otherwise, when you die, you end up back here, and you have to start all over. So, we're going to look at the map here, the galaxy map, and we are way out here on this edge. Here's the center, and that's, just give you kind of an idea of how many thousands. Yeah, you have a long ways to go. Each one of these are an individual sector. There's the outside, and you got to go all the way to the center of the galaxy. Way down in here. There's the center right there. So that's how far you got to go. But this is your home sector, right? This is where you're going to start out. You're in the Emirate of Tiakak. sure I fucking murdered that, but who knows? It's a sci-fi game. Maybe I'm correct and you guys are all wrong. We'll find out. You are admired here, and this has a good start out: resource depot, shipyard, repair dock, equipment dock. Those are all important ones, especially the equipment dock, because that's where you buy all of your shit. That buys your upgraded guns, buys your components for your shields, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is a good place to start out, and this is going to be your home sector. If your ship is destroyed, this is where you're going to come back to. So with that said, we're going to jump back in, and we're going to start out with our little probe here. Your first material, of course, is going to be iron, and you're going to move over here close to this little bugger, and you're going to start mining some iron. Yeah, you need you can get by with less, but you can do about 4,000. About 4,000 iron is what you're going to need, and it takes a little while. You got to spend some time blowing things up here, mining this iron to get started. So we're just going to blow through an asteroid or two here quick, just to get enough here to build a ship. And you're not, like I said, you're not going to spend a whole lot of time in your iron ship. You're going to immediately want to try to upgrade it as quick as you can, and you're going to have to move closer to the galactic center to get better material. So the next one after iron is titanium, and titanium will last you quite a while. You can actually jump almost all the way up to trinium just with a titanium hull and equipment. So I'm going to move over here to this next one, and we're going to see what we can do here. You got to remember, when you're first mining this stuff, is you don't want to get too far from any sort of station, like that guy right there. Don't get too far away from him, because you got to get a crew, and flying a ship without a crew kind of sucks. So all of a sudden you're way out in the middle of nowhere. You don't have the ability to get back there real quick, so you're going to have to wait. You're building an early ship right off the bat. So you want to make sure you keep good relations with your starting spawn faction as much as possible. These guys are going to give you, obviously the best deals on hypergate jumping, that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure you're friendly. You want to help them out as much as you can if they get attacked by pirates. An early game, that's kind of what you want to be doing anyway. Killing off pirates is an easy way to make money and get equipment. Once their ships are blown up, all the stuff that on their ship comes off, like turrets, components, and that kind of stuff that you can use in your own ship to upgrade, they all come off, and you're able to use them right off the bat. So we're going to look around, see if we can find another asteroid. There we go. Another one about 2.5 kilometers away. Space bar to go fast. I want to go fast, mama. So you want to turn around and go a little too fast. We'll go the other way. Slow us down. Pull back in here on the asteroid. We'll just move up here close enough to get... usually these mining lasers only start about 4, somewhere about 0.4 kilometers. We're going to blow this guy up quick. And you can see, of course, as they blow up, here comes the pieces of... And these mining lasers will, of course, upgrade as you get into better material. You're going to get into trinium, titanium. You're going to need a titanium laser. You can use the iron laser. It just takes longer and it's less efficient. But if you get a titanium mining laser, then when you get into titanium, it's much easier to collect. So we've knocked off a pretty good chunk there. We got one more about 4.5 kilometers away. We'll see if we can get this done for about 2,000, because you're going to start out with very few credits, so you're not going to be able to build a real big ship here. So we're going to pull in here, turn around, put the brakes on, and there we go. Close enough. We don't want to get too close, run into things. Yeah, we're going to mine this asteroid out. I think this is I think we'll probably be able to do this here quick with just 2, maybe 3,000 iron. So yeah, it's not for everybody. Don't get me wrong. This game is very addictive, time suck. If you like to build shit, you like to explore stuff, you like to do the whole trade, it is very nice. It's not as polished as some games, but this gives you quite a bit of freedom to do whatever you want. I mean, come on, how awesome it is to build your own ship. I mean, you can make it look like the Death Star, you can make it look like a Borg cube, you can make it look like the Serenity. You like Warhammer 40,000, you can make ships like that. You can do all this crazy stuff in the builds. If you don't believe me, go look at some of the crazy builds that they've got on the Steam accounts of people that build ships and stuff. They have no life, but they build pretty awesome pretty awesome pixeled uh, pixeled warships. So one more asteroid over here should be plenty for us for what we're going to be doing. We're going to pick up the last iron here quick. Yeah. Now, so, hey, you know, the first game's off. Just like any game you play. It takes time to get started. It takes time to get the good stuff. So, pull in here, slow down enough I don't run into the asteroid at full speed. And we should have just enough to at least partially start a ship. Enough to get a pretty good idea what to do here. So, and it's just like, you know, the physics on here are pretty basic. Obviously, the faster you go, the harder it is to stop, right? Just like in the real universe. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So, we're going to blow this guy up here. We should just have enough, just about enough to build a little, at least a little runaround ship to start out with. And of course, like I said, this is all going to be out of iron, so this ship is not going to be something you're probably going to keep. You're most likely, once you get to titanium, and certainly when you get some of the higher metals, you're going to build something that's a little bit more robust, but this is at least going to get you around the sector, and maybe fight a few pirates and do a little bit more mining. So, we got about almost 3,000, closing it up pretty quick. You know, I got another little video, or a little part of this video later, that's going to be in my galaxy that I normally play in, trying to explain at least some of the stuff that I fucked up on and didn't know any better. So maybe some tips and tactics. Maybe I should call it that. So we're almost done mining this last blast piece of asteroid, and it costs you 500 to start out with. So you want to make sure you have at least 500 to at least name a ship here. Found a ship. Let's call it Ares. Yeah, it's the Greek god of war. It's actually my name of my youngest son. So this is your C block. This is one you start out with. You want to be careful. You don't want to destroy this. So if you're, say, a long ways away from your home sector and you're dicking around with your spaceship about rebuilding it and whatnot, you destroy this block, you immediately, your vessel will be destroyed and you will return to the home sector and you have to start all over again. So don't destroy the seed block if you don't have to. Yeah, that's just a little hint. So you're going to go up here to the building mode and you're going to start out right off the bat. You know, right now, don't worry about torpedoes, don't worry about cargo bays, don't worry about any of that kind of stuff. Right now, all you're worried about is crew quarters, an engine, and getting set up for either fighting and mining. That's it. There's nothing else to worry about other than that. So we're just going to start off with a real simple little ship here. We're going to run up. We're looking for our blocks here. We're going to find a iron crew quarters. There we go. And once we get it into position, we need that much space? Not really, because this is going to be a very big ship. So remember, you only have 10,000 credits, and you have to hire a crew. So the less you can get away with for crew, the better. So we're going to pick up just a simple crew quarter, so it'll hold 16 crews, right? Or 16 crew members. Then, of course, we want propulsion. Yeah, let's just throw some quick propulsion on there. It doesn't quite have to be that big, just enough. We could probably do a little bit bigger. Close enough. We'll start out with that real simple. So we got a crew quarters, we got a engine, and now we want to make sure we have the ability to turn left and right. This is the yaw and pitch, left and right, up and down. You can't do that. I mean, that's a thruster that we got right there that's pushing you through space, but you need thrusters that will let you go left, right, up, and down. So that's what these things are. So you can put them big. The bigger they are, the more, obviously, the more they produce. However, we are not really worried about that right now. We are just trying to get something simple here. So I'm just going to throw some thrusters on here real quick. Yeah. So these are what's going to make you turn left and right and all that kind of stuff. All right. So yeah, pretty simple. And now you've noticed now my yaw and pitch, not too bad here. So we're gonna try to take this out for a spin. Pretty decent speed, and you can see how maneuverable it is with all those thrusters. However, my slow down speed is not the best, so we're just gonna jump back in there quick, and we'll put up a big old fat block on the front. There. Now we have mass. Yeah, we have thrusters, forward, backwards, up, down, left, and right. So we can turn like a dime, right? That's a pretty basic ship right there. And now, since we're looking for is, we're just going to throw some decking on it. You don't have to put the, this is iron blank hull. We're just going to put that real quick on here. Just to cover it a little bit. It's not as durable, of course, as armor, but once again, we're trying to keep this as light as we can and cheap as we can, just to get started. Oops. There we go. And I'm not even going to be terribly worried about the bottom half. I'm hopefully not. We're just going to be worried about dealing with what's in the front, because like I said, you're only going to be fighting. Most everything's going to be in the front. There's some armor. We're going to throw a little armor on the front of it, because that's what you want to do to keep yourself from getting whacked right off the bat. God, you think by now I could figure this out. All right, so we're just going to throw a little bit of armor on the front. That'll be your plate of armor, and we'll throw one up here on the top, and this is where we're going to be putting our shit anyway. So we'll just stick some armor on the top there. There we go. So now all these thrusters that you see poking out the side, they do work through the armor. So you can cover this all in armor and not have to worry about the thrusters not working. So you can, if you want a smooth look to it instead of all these little holes for the thrusters, go ahead and cover them, because you'll never know the difference. Now, what you can do if you want a bigger ship, or once you want to work on a little bit later, you can use the iron framework here. And this is essentially, you put it in here, and it's just going to be a filler. It's super light, super cheap, but it lets you completely flesh out your ship. And this, you can, of course, like I said, you pop it in there, and it's just kind of a filler. Later on, when you get into the game, I'll show my other ship, but I'm talking about how I use the framework. You can build all the way around this now. Later on, when you decide to add more modules, you just hit this, delete it, and then add your module in here, right? But we're like I said, this is just a basic flying. You know what I'm talking about, fellas. But yeah, so now we got that. So we got two mining turrets. We're going to start out with one, and we'll put the triple chain gun there. So now, really, what this is here. So what you have is systems on your ship, and we don't have any right now, but you'll get systems components you can add here that lets you have more turns, or more, a better jump engine and all that kind of stuff. And I'll show you later in the other video, or the other part of this video, what I'm talking about. So we've got a simple. I think we can add one more mining turret. These are iron mining turrets to the vessel. Yeah, there we go. So we're ready, and this thing is spinny, and good luck. So we've got that. There's our first. This has got the resource depot, so we're going to fly on up here. I didn't, of course, like I said, it didn't spend a whole much. We didn't really need a whole lot when you first start out here. You're going to basically be mining anyway when you first start out. So you can, this is just a real quick starting one. You can, of course, by the time you receive everything, you're going to be, by the time you get in here. So you want to get up here into the docking port, which is, I believe, up a little bit further. You're looking for, it looks like little tiny protrusions from the wing there. There they are. See that where the little square is at? That's where you want to be docked. So you have to get real close here. Like you have to be within completely. Yeah, there we go. Now we can dock. Once we're docked, this is, of course, is where we hire the crew. So we have no crew, so we need engineers, gunners, miners, mechanics, yeah, So that's what we need. We need engineers. Well, we'll throw, like I said earlier, you know, make sure you keep the number of how much you're spending, right? Because you want to be. Oh, come on! I thought I was already docked. There we go. F to dock. Apparently, I did not dock good enough. So, throw in a couple of those guys. Throw a couple of those guys. We need some miners. What else do we need? Gun crews. 1, 2, 3. And we don't have any. No mechanics. This station doesn't have a mechanic, so we're going to have to go find them somewhere else. So, we've spent that, so we're going to go up here to the sheet menu, and it'll tell us what we're missing yet. We need two gunners, 4 miners, 1 mechanic. So we can get here, we can get 4 miners, 2 gunners. Yeah, that's what we need. And this does have kind of a wonky deal. That should have been hired right away. So we're going to go put the 2 there, hire those, and we need 4 miners. And we're going to hire those. So now once you guys hire these guys, you're going to have to pay every so often. You're going to have to pay their wages. So you guys make sure you have enough credits on hand to do it. Because I'm already down to 6,500 credits. It's time to make some cash. So what I'm looking for now is mechanics. And this is where it comes in handy to make sure you know that you have a place where you can pick up stuff. There's no mechanics there. So what I'm looking for is another... that's 49 kilometers away. We really don't want to travel all the way across over there to get it. There's one closer. How about here? There's the resource depot. So let's push F, find out what they have for crew. They have engineers, gunner. No, is that just where we were? The fuck. So what do we got over here? That one's a little closer. What do they got for crew? They have nothing. So, you know, we can probably get away with just hiring regular olds. That's the resource depot. God, I thought there was something closer. This is what I was talking about earlier about not being quite so far away. Alright, depot, where are you at? There we go. Let's just go hire a random crew member. Slow down before we run into them. Okay, back to that dock again. I can't believe I just fucked that up. Man, you'd think I would know what I was talking about. I don't really. And like I said, this is going to be, mostly this video series is going to be me trying to learn as we go. So there's the docks right there. So we want to be relatively close. Got to be within, we pretty much got to touch it to make this work. So we're going to move right in there. There we go. Now we can dock. We're just going to use the standard crewmen. I actually might just hire a couple of them. 4 of them. Like, they always can fill in a position. They're not as good as trained ones, but they'll work in a pinch. So let's pick up the ship crew members. So I need 1. So we're going to plus 1 there. So now we're at 100% all the way across the crew. So now our ship is ready to rock and roll. You can see I got a chain gun for defense, and I got 2 mining lasers. So now we're looking for some iron. Did I not just see some iron? I just passed some iron. Turn it around. Now with Alt, you can change your view of the ship. You want it over here, want it over here, up here, down here, whatever. There we go. There we go. So now we're going to switch here. What we're going to do is we're going to change our deals. These are our mining lasers. So we're going to put them on 1. So when I use 1, and we'll put him on 2. That way I don't use my cannons on the... So we're going to drop off number 2, and we'll pick up number 1. And now that with the 2 mining cannons on here, we're going to be able to mine just a little bit quicker. Hopefully, yep, there we go. It's a little easier to pick up. Instead of the little probe, you're going to be able to move around the system quite a bit better. So, with that said, we've got the first part of the ship ready to go. And you know, you can use this simply just stay out of trouble if you need to. at least until you get titanium, which is a little bit closer toward the core. And I'll explain that in this next part of the video where I'm jumped into someplace else. So, pretty easy. Once you got that set up, now first we're going to go up to the galaxy map here, and we're going to pick the sector. This is what your blue is inside, how far you can jump, which is only 2 at a time. Once you get the components upgraded on your ship to be able to go further, you're good to go. So what you're going to do is right click in your coordinates, and then you're going to escape back over here, and you're going to see a blue arrow here showing you where that's at. There it is, and you're waiting for the top part up here. This is your jump engines. This is when you're going to be ready. Once you use this up, you'll get a certain amount of cooldown before you can use it again. But now I've got it ready to go. What is this? My ship is very weak. No shit. So we're going to jump to that coordinates, and we're off we go. Avorion, for the most part, there's lots of empty spaces like this. So we're gonna have to, you got a 10-second cooldown there. We're gonna jump to the next map, and we're gonna be looking for possible places. There might be some interesting stuff. So we gotta wait till jump start is calculated, and off we go. Pretty simple. What's fucking wrong? How do you win? And of course, there's pirates right off the bat. What the? Oh, there's all pirates. No, maybe not pirates. What are these guys? These guys, yep, these are pirates. They don't like me. So you can run for a little bit. Don't use up too much of your burst energy, but make sure you always jump into a system you're not sure about, and pick a spot right off the bat, so you can get the fuck out, right? So I'm gonna pick up coordinates there, and most of them are far enough away that they're not really gonna bother me. Yeah, 19 kilometers. 21 kilometers, so I'm really not too worried about it. They won't even interact with me if maybe they did interact with me. Yeah, records, they're not allowed to do business with me. So apparently these guys hate me, and I don't even know them. So we're off. So that's a real quick starter ship. I mean, we're not talking nothing. There's nothing mind-boggling, incredible about this ship. It's just going to get you the iron and the whatever you're going to need. You don't want to pick a fight. You want to get in a fight, but just going to get you around so you can start picking up better material. And that's really what you're going to do early game. Just get better material so you get a little bit better ship. Once you get the titanium on the ship, then of course you can start building it so you're able to take on the pirates. You could probably even what you're going to do is, of course, wait till the pirates get into a fight with somebody. They all die, go in there and pick up all their shit after it's all broke. So I'm going to switch over to the other one and give you kind of a little bit more rundown on that part of it, maybe the history. Once again, this is just a basic starter, just to help you guys out. Alright guys, back with the second part in here, and this is going to be a little bit more. So this is my second ship that I built. Yeah, so now this is made out of trinium. This is one of the better materials in the galaxy, and I've gone quite a ways, and I'm going to show you here when I talk about on the galaxy map what I'm talking about. These are all the places I've been. This is where I started, way up here. Just like on the other one where I started way over here, I started way up here. And this is my home, essentially home sector, which is currently seems to be under controlled by the fucking dickhead. Yeah, apparently they don't like me anymore. So I started there, started out with my iron ship, and as I moved further down toward the galaxy center, we start out with iron here, and as you get further toward into the next set of sectors here, you're going to start running into titanium, which is the other material that you really want to use in your first ship. In fact, this ship right here was entirely made out of titanium, and it allowed me, for the most part, to make it almost all the way down into here before I actually had to switch to trinium. I made it through all this crap with a titanium ship. I wouldn't suggest it, but it is possible. So like I said, you want to make sure that when you, home sector, you want to move down toward the center as much as possible. I kind of took a long ways around here. I don't know why, because it's probably only my first time I played the game, so... But you want to try to make if you wanted to make a beeline, go ahead. But as you get closer here into these other sectors here, you're going to start picking up titanium, which is the next material to build your ship up, which is a really good material, because that one allows you to, and we're going to look at the titanium part of it, You start out with iron, of course. These are all your iron blocks. However, titanium will let you build integrity field generators, which enhances the block strength, and it also lets you build titanium generators, which gives you more power to power more shit. That's why titanium is more important than iron, and for the most part, it's better than the nanonite. Because it does, it's a durable material. It's super light. Nanonite's heavier. Titanium's lighter, but very durable. So, titanium is one of the better materials to choose out, at least until you get to tritium. Tritium is probably the one that most everybody uses in this game for just about everything. Xanium is heavier, but I don't believe it is any better than tritium for durability-wise. Maybe a little bit. Augenite is the most durable of all the blocks, but you can't build a lot of the specialized the generators, integrity fields, shields, and that kind of stuff. So it can really only be used for armor. Just something to think about. If when you're deciding what kind of material to build your ship out. Early game, definitely titanium. Mid to even to late game, tritium seems to be the material of choice. This thing will handle quite a bit, most everything you run into. This stuff is not easy to find. I've only found one spot for it. It's a very large spot, but it requires some pretty good salvage lasers to get it out, and it's taken me a little bit of time, and I haven't really spent the time to sit there and try to salvage the whole goddamn thing to get enough to build armor plating. Avorion, of course, is until you get to the center of the galaxy. And what that center of the galaxy is what we're talking about is the centuries ago that this catastrophic event happened. What it created was a rift, and you can see this right here. It created a rift all the way around the center, and you can see it. You see the edge of it here. It goes up and around, and you can see the other part over here. It goes all the way around the center, and you cannot cross this barrier. That is the essential part of the game. Is the mission to find the jump gate to get from the outer galaxy to the inner galaxy. So right now I'm just exploring the edge of this rift and trying to find the gate to get into the center. Of course, there seems to be, I did go look up on the Avorion, there's 8 artifacts you have to collect to be able to power the gate. However, that's about as much as I know about it. And then, like I said, these videos are going to be just as I go along and learn things, because this is what I had to do, when I first started out to learn all this stuff. So, with that said, we are going to be talking about is with your ships. You want to make it out of the strongest material you can at the time, even if it takes you a little bit longer to get the tritiums or the titaniums. Titanium is what you really want to start your early ship out with. That's going to get you a long ways, at least until you get to the tritium part of it. Once you get there, you got to make sure you keep up with, because as you're going to go, you're going to be blowing up pirate ships, you're going to be salvaging wrecks and all that kind of stuff, and you're going to be mining ore. What you're going to be looking for is things called on the systems. Your system, you're going to first start out, you're going to get 2 slots. As you get your ship gets bigger, and you get into where you get computer cores, you're going to be able to create more slots to put more components in. Right now, I'm using the components to give me extra turrets. This one is for radar. This allows me for deep space scans. There is, of course, the object detector and all that kind of stuff. However, one of the more important ones is the quantum hyperspace upgrades. This lets you jump further and faster. These are all important. You got to make sure you want to get these. When I first started the game, I didn't really know what these were for, and I spent a whole lot of time jumping 2 little systems at a time. Now I can jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sectors or 6 systems in one jump, where before, when you first start out, you could only jump 2. So those little components, computer cores, which you get with titanium, helps you jump further. And of course, these components also help you jump further. So you want to be able to keep extending this out, so you don't have to spend a whole bunch of time jumping, little systems at a time, where you can jump 6 or more systems. So that's just something to remember when you're first starting out the game. You want to make sure you upgrade that stuff and keep it going. Same way with weapons. dealing with pirates and all that kind of stuff. You want your diplomacy up. You want to be able to keep a friendly. Always make sure you keep a friendly. These guys are relatively friendly to me. These guys, because what you're looking for is this one has a bunch of research station, military resource depot, repair dock, all the stuff that you need. And the only way you can use this stuff is unless you're in good standings with them. These guys are in blue, of course. These guys are in red. They don't really care for me. These are pirates. I can't go into that. I can't go into that right there and use any of that stuff because we have a bad relationship. These guys aren't any better. Yeah, so you can see as I come down the line, I was probably a little bit more, not quite as friendly. I've kind of burned a few bridges there. Pirate life, you know, I didn't choose the pirate life, kind of chose me. So, but once I got down here further toward the center, closer to the center, you wanted to try to keep up good relations with these different kingdoms and factions, so you can be able to trade and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's very integral in the first part of the game, is making sure that you keep good relations with certain groups. Some groups you're just never going to be able to, but you want to make sure you keep good relations, especially with somebody like, for example, this specific sector where it has all this stuff. You want to make sure you keep good relations and you know where that's at, so you can go back and trade, buy stuff, sell stuff, that kind of stuff. And when you do that upgrades your character toward them. You obviously go from good to excellent to admired eventually, and you want to keep as friendly as possible. However, all the rest of the asshats, go ahead, go in there, blow up their shit, and take it. Perfectly fine. So yeah, jumping around, you want to jump around, you want to try to find things, you want to mine things, and eventually as you get further into the game, mining becomes less important, as does the salvage lasers, and we'll go over that a little bit later. So that's just a kind of a quick overview about what you're going to be trying to do. Try to keep up good relationships with some factions, other ones not so much, don't really care. Keep working toward the center, keep gaining the better materials. With better materials, you will, of course, get better components and weapons and turrets that you can use to once again keep getting, as you work toward the middle. You always want to make sure with your credits that you keep it up. If you, for example, in a sector, if you wait long enough in a sector, say like in your home sector long enough, eventually some pirates will show up. Let them duke it out with the owner of the sector, and once that ship blows up, the pirate ship blows up, you can fly in there and pick up gun turrets, you can pick up components, you can pick up free money, that kind of stuff. If you wait till they're almost dead and you run over there and put one shot into them, you'll collect a reward from the person that owns the sector, which is a good way to fund some of your early escapades in this game. Yeah, so some of that stuff, we'll go over that a little bit later. But this is just, like I said, a basic how to get started, and then I'll work on, of course, more videos if people are interested. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later.